Hello, and welcome back to the Tim Tom podcast. As you can probably tell, no Tim this week. He's currently fighting an extradition case in Burma, but I've got a very special and very illustrious guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name's Laurence.
And you're a resident logic expert, correct?
Yeah, I went to Oxford and got my degree in logic studies.
So you're actually someone that seemed to, well, certainly in not high school, secondary school, you bumped a bit of logic, didn't you?
Yeah, I quite like the incredible true story, but all good things must come to an end.
Yeah, he's just been on a downward trajectory recently. Probably hit rock bottom with Supermarket, which came out not that long ago.
And I think, I think rock bottom was his book, the one where he made the dog biracial.
Hey, it's a logic project. It's got to have some biracialness in it. Mind you, when did this start? Because I swear on Under Pressure and The Incredible True Story, he didn't talk about being biracial.
I think he dropped it once in the incredible true story. I think it came about in the Everybody album.
Hmm.
I think
Well,
that's when he
anyway,
started realizing he was a meme, chatting about it's cool to be any colour.
yeah, but anyway, here we are today. Confessions of a Dangerous Mind.
Oh boy.
I mean, I didn't really like the album cover, so straight from the bat even, I wasn't really feeling it that much. And the singles were mediocre. The title track was okay. Keanu Reeves was a cringe bag, and then Homicide was pretty good. So, any highlights for you want to start with?
Um, I don't know, man. To be fair, I quite like just where's I write it. I quite like how he says on how he gives a few people a shout out on Wannabe, like Gambino and Kendrick. That was quite good.
Mm-hmm.
Don't really feel like he needs to give them the shout out though.
Yeah.
You don't want Logic clout. But do you know what I mean? I feel like some of his songs, like the first couple, they got a good message, but kind of goes on a tangent talking about how he ain't gay, and then it all falls apart from there when he starts just flexing.
I agree. I thought the title track that kicked the thing off was pretty good, although he tried to rhyme how I feel and high I feel, which didn't work. And then
Yeah,
he also had the nerve to moan about being compared to other artists, which, considering that he's been ripping off guys like Kendrick since he came out, was a bit interesting, I thought.
mm,
And then Homicide was a lyrical spiritual miracle, which again I thought was quite good.
it's all right, but do you know what I mean? I think people rate it a lot more because they're so adjusted to the crap that he churns out. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it was a nice sort of surprise, but just because it's a nice surprise doesn't make it good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would still say it was
It's probably
quite
the
a.
best out of the set songs he released.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
I
I
wouldn't
I
say
like
it's
the
good.
outro probably for me though.
Um,
What's his name? Chris D'Elia doing his Eminem impression. I thought that was quite funny.
yeah.
And I also liked the Mama Show Love track. I thought that was probably Logic's best performance. And YBN Corday popping up here with a nice little feature as well.
Mm.
And maybe the final highlight I'll say would be Don't Be Afraid to Be Different. Again, ironic given that Logic is a bit of a copycat.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he got bodied by Will Smith on this song as well, which I found funny.
On Skype. Oh, you're right.
What was that?
I was just telling my dad. I was on Skype.
Oh, okay. But I think that's it for highlights for me. So where should we go? I don't know. Any particular standouts for maybe the wrong reason? I think you already mentioned clickbait of saying that he'd suck a dick to prove he's not homophobic.
Oh yeah, it's not good, is it?
Well, like I said, I thought the album started off pretty well. The first 2 tracks were decent, and then it went into Wannabe, which, I mean, the beat sucked, and that was probably the best thing about this album, was the instrumentals were mostly good, but I thought this beat was terrible.
I think the last song is my least favourite. I think it's the worst.
You know what, I can't even remember. I've written nothing down.
Oh mate, I made plenty of notes on this one.
Okay, go ahead.
He repeats a line that kind of made me had to check out the lyrics to it. He goes, "It's coloured people time."
Okay.
He says he's married to the game. Do you reckon that's why his wife left him? And
maybe that's who he's replaced her with.
And like nearly every other verse, he compares himself to Andre 3000, which I thought was a bit disrespectful.
I couldn't agree more.
I heard him keep saying Andre 3K, so I had to check it out.
And he definitely did.
And
wow, that's bad.
I went out my way to look. He has that weird like Japanese outro.
Yeah.
Oh, I looked at the translation. It's not good. It basically says, "Thanks for joining the album. It was wonderful. If you don't like Logic, please cover your ears. But you chat and love him every day. You can't help but not think about him. You become obsessed."
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay. But why would you cover your ears at the end of the album? Sure, you cover your ears at the beginning.
Logic.
If you hated Logic. I think the middle of the album, so after Out of Sight, which was again sort of an okay song.
I like the beat, but he's just flexing.
And then it hit a really rough patch. I mean, Part of My Ego.
Yeah, that's just. I feel like
bad.
It's
and he also compared himself to Kid Cudi at one point, which again is disrespectful. And then we had the collaboration no one asked for with Logic and G-Eazy together. And G-Eazy called it the Clash of the Titans.
Yeah, I don't know if this is how you felt, but like, when it got to G-Eazy's verse, it kind of feels like endless build up. As if he's like working towards something, like towards the end that's going to come out. But he just keeps building and building. It's like endless build up with no payoff. No, you hear that, and it's just build up until you hear the sad sound of Logic screaming, "Let that boy breathe." That's when you know that you're not getting any reward.
I thought that this track was perhaps best typified by Logic calling himself the rap Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Which kind of, I think for me that summed up the song pretty well. But honestly, the next track was my least favourite, Icy. I thought there was absolutely nothing good about this song whatsoever.
No.
Not even the Gucci Mane feature could save this song.
No,
the hook is stuck in my head, but it's just awful. And every time I hear it, I just want to bash my skull against the wall until I can't think anymore.
Yeah, I think Icy's the one that stands out the most because of his bad vocals and then bad pitches. Like, it's got this like weird twang to it.
Yeah, it's just a couple octaves higher than usual.
Yeah. And it's him saying he's icy the new biracial because he says, "I'm so icy so much."
Oh, one more thing, sorry, I forgot to say on Commando. Did you hear at the end of it, Logic kept going, "Shamo"?
No, I think I might have zoned out.
Oh my god, that was
So it's another
terrible.
icon he's comparing himself to.
Yeah, there were some pretty terrible lyrics on this song as well. He said, "I've got the game in my hand like a switch."
Yeah, I picked up on that.
And I've got bitches to fuck. Let me see your ID.
Yeah, I picked up on that. Like, Do you reckon he's like really desperate to hit different demographics? That's why he's like always throwing like nerdy bars in.
Well, I think so, because you see like that gif of him dabbing and him always rapping and talking about Rick and Morty.
Getting
And yeah,
twisted.
he's trying to hang out with people like Wiz Khalifa. I just don't really.
To be fair, I thought the Wiz Khalifa one was quite good. The verse, like Wiz's verse, was pretty standard for Wiz.
Yeah, I just didn't think there was anything that great about that song. Even another flexy song. Maybe and then after that we have maybe a contender for worst song in Cocaine, which again saw Logic like singing and rapping in a higher pitch.
Yeah, I didn't even make anything for that. I just,
Oh my god, it's
this
something
one,
I'd happily never hear again.
I probably will never hear this album again.
No, I don't think I will either. Limitless, another boring, bad song. And then we
Yeah,
hit the first single for this, Keanu Reeves, which at first
it's
listen
interesting.
is quite good.
It's a bit
When I first
repetitive.
heard it, I was like bobbing my head to it. I thought the beat was great, Logic's flows were great, but he's just got so many terrible lyrics on here.
Yeah, it's a bit repetitive, and I wasn't a fan of the Obama bar. Mick
No,
Obama. That was a
uh,
bit out.
I mean we've got I ain't playing games unless we're talking Fortnite.
So that's
And
something a lyric in
yeah,
there.
that's a screw up your face line. Then you got the one where Soccer Mum see him and said, "Oh, it's that 1-800 guy," but my door's a suicide.
Oh dear.
And then of course the Barmer line I'd rather not repeat.
I think he's self-aware now. Do you mean because I'm pretty sure he said something like it ain't a Logic track if he don't say he's biracial.
Mhm.
At least he's got that going for him. He's
Yeah,
self-aware
well,
now.
and he also said you're not famous for that make memes about you, but I don't think Kendrick has any memes.
Yeah, it's
Or
weird because just because you've
people like
got
that.
memes doesn't mean that's good.
It's usually like fairly middle of the road.
Yeah,
Or a lot of trap guys have got memes to try and get their shit popping.
yeah. I don't think he understands what memes are.
No, but again, this is the sort of thing that his fans really hate. Just banging on about being biracial and all the nerdy stuff. They just want like his first two albums and some of his earlier mixtapes,
Yeah, we just want him to do what he's supposed to do.
not this stuff. And I thought again, Bobby was well. That's the last song I have notes on, which again was pretty terrible. He kept on saying that he's only biracial in his penis.
Oh mate,
And
no.
at the end, he had his dad acting like a hype man, just chatting a bunch of shit, saying that you rappers can't back up what you talk about.
Do you reckon his dad's able to say the N word?
His dad says the N word for him a few times.
Or him?
Yeah, well, he says it on this song as well. Logic does,
Instead of
he
his
sort of
dad,
doubled down that maybe he's not biracial, but in fact,
instead of his dad fighting his battles for him, his dad saying the N word for him.
yeah. Well, he keeps on saying that. Well, this is the second time, so he's also he's on the intro of Homicide and this song, right? And both the times he says that you're the greatest because you came out my balls.
Yeah,
Which, considering, isn't he a recovering crack addict?
yeah. I'm pretty sure his
So
brother sold his dad's
the
crackers.
the greatest coming from a crack addict's opinion. Not exactly gospel. Is everyone all right over there?
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Well, have you got any more things to? Oh yeah, you wanted to talk about the final track, didn't you? The closer.
No, you didn't. You missed the one with Will Smith.
Oh, I thought I talked about it already
Nah.
in my highlights. I thought
Oh,
it was a pretty good one. Did you have anything you wanted to add to "Don't Be Afraid to Be Different"?
that's the Will Smith one, isn't
Mm-hmm.
it? Yeah, I think Dr. Seuss is rolling in his grave. Logic keeps saying he's Sam I am.
Well, no, in the track before he said, "I'm not Sam I am." Oh no, he said, "I am Sam I am," and then on this one
Yeah,
he said he wasn't.
And then the one with his dad, he also wait, the one with his dad, he also says he's Sam I Am as well. Because he says that he's Sam I Am again, and then references Black Spider-Man, which is like one of his worst songs. So I'd be trying to forget that if I was him, not bringing it up as a
I
highlight of your
mean,
career.
yeah, I mean, this was a hard listen, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a listen that I wouldn't have listened to unless if I didn't have to. To be honest, it's just not good, man. Was not a fan.
I would maybe listen to Mama/Show Love again.
Mama, I'm not a fan. I don't like the way he says Mama. It's kind of creepy.
It was a bit creepy, but I think that his rapping, this is what I want. Songs like that. Not songs with a Will Smith feature or
We don't want Will Smith chat about Fortnite. That's not cool.
I mean, I kind of give him props for doubling down on the
memes.
Fortnite thing after the after YouTube Rewind, but I mean, come on.
Yeah, no, props that he's doubling down on it, but just because he's doubling down on it, it doesn't make it any better. Do you know what I mean? Accepting that you're corny is not a good. It's not a step forward.
Which I think in a way is what this album is in a nutshell, accepting that Logic's
Accepting your
corny.
no, just accepting you're corny. Everyone on it delivers corny stuff, man.
Apart from YBN Code Day, I will not let him be done as corny. He had a great verse. Maybe
No,
Eminem as well, but Eminem is corny in general.
no, Eminem is. This is what I didn't like. He compares himself to Andre 3000, yeah, but he didn't get Andre 3000 on the album. He got Eminem, and Eminem and Andre are like polar opposites. As Andre recognizes that he's not in his prime anymore, and he likes the new people, whereas Eminem thinks he's still in his prime, and he's just destroying his career. So it's a bit of a weird one to get Eminem on the album, but compare yourself to Andre.
Well, I remember Logic saying a long time ago that he was going to drop one more album after everybody, and then he's
Yeah,
just going to do the odd feature for people. And he's released another 3
he's got
albums
like
since then, hasn't he? It's
he's
just like,
gone in
what are
like
you
the
doing?
complete opposite direction. Instead of one more album, it's yeah, but he probably still had like the wife back then. Things were probably still like going, and he still had his hair. He still had his hair, his wife, and a somewhat good reputation. So he was, I reckon he peaked. He's
To
fallen
be
off.
honest, for him, as a career move, I think after everybody would have been a good time to go.
Yeah, because everybody wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. It was adequate.
Yeah.
It's nothing. It was a bit memey, but you know what I mean. All of his stuff is.
He's just made it worse since then.
It's just. I don't like it when he calls himself the rap Bruce Willis. Just because
I
he's
don't like
just.
when he calls himself Bobby. It's just terrible.
Bobby's the one that can say the hard R at the end of the N word.
I can't believe he said the hard R so many times.
You reckon he's just like really worried now? Just never leaves the house.
That's not something I'd have done if I was him, but there you go.
I wouldn't have done it, no matter how biracial I feel I am.
So have you got a rating out of 10 you'd like to give biracial Bobby?
Like a 2 out of 10. Probably never coming back.
I think a 2 to 3 is pretty fair from
One's too
where
low.
I'm sitting.
Yeah, I think a one's too low, but a four's too high. So I'll go with it too.
Okay, and we got some singles. Skepta, new album coming out on the last day of the month, the
Yeah.
31st. Is it called Ignorance is Bliss, right?
Yeah.
And he's dropped 2 new songs, the first 2 songs on the album. Bullet from a Gun and Grease Mode, both self-produced. What did you think?
Um, after I know we briefly chatted about this already, but I think we have like opposite opinions.
Okay.
I'm not the biggest fan of Grease Mode, but I do quite like Bullet from a Gun.
Okay. Well, I quite like both of them, to be honest.
I don't really like the feature that much on Grease Mode.
Hmm. Well,
Not a
I
big-
think they were two quite different songs because Bullet from
Yeah,
a Gun was more
standard stuff he'd put out.
the lyrical, hard street stuff, and then the Grease Mode was more one for the club,
Yeah,
one for summer. Although he did have a great line saying, "I'm an asthmatic weed fanatic." I thought that was pretty good.
mm.
But yeah, I think the feature was quite good for me. It had it was quite anthemic and very catchy, but I'm not sure if it's perfect. It was, I mean, it was nice that he picked up a young up and coming artist.
Yeah, he's doing
Could you got someone better to do it?
probably.
Because he does
Could
always
he
keep
have?
his ear to the streets, Skepta. He's always giving artists I've never heard of features.
Do you reckon? I reckon it might have worked a bit better if Grease Mode came later on in the album. I don't know, because the first couple tracks you want to be like proper, sort of like hard hitters, or at least to get you into it properly.
Yeah, and they don't really complement each other that well either, do they?
No, they're like really different.
But has it whetted your appetite nevertheless?
Yeah, I like the beats. I mean the instrumentals.
Hmm.
Um, you know, it's just right, isn't it? He makes a few references back to his older songs, like "It Ain't Safe."
Oh yeah, he did. That was quite slick.
Yeah, I picked up on that one, and he talked about the feeling of getting home and seeing his girl, and that cannot be compared. But as a man who has no children that I know of, I can't talk about that. Can I? I don't know what if it's a
Mm.
good feeling or not.
I didn't know he had a kid until Bullet from a Gun.
No, me neither.
So you're more of a Bullet from a Gun guy.
Yeah,
I think I might still prefer Grease Mode slightly, but I like
it's
them
not.
both.
Yeah,
I'm
they're not
definitely
bad.
looking forward to the song, the
Yeah,
album when it comes.
none of them are bad, but I just prefer one over the other.
That's fair enough. That's why we're here. So have you got anything to shout out before we go?
Um, Tesco. I want,
Yeah, shout out the employers.
I want the meal deal black card.
That would be hard.
I
So
would.
thank you very much for talking logic with me today. I know it's a favourite topic of yours.
That's all right, man. Putting
Oh,
my
and
degree to
Skeppy, of
good
course.
use.
Yeah, man, you got to use that. Got to put that
Mm.
investment.
Yeah, man. 27 grand in debt.
But it was all worth it.
It was all worth it. My calling came
Damn
to talk
straight.
about. I'm so glad we weren't talking about Supermarket, the album.
Oh dear. I mean,
I,
that
I,
was
I wouldn't have,
something else.
I wouldn't have been able to do it, man. I wouldn't be able to listen to him singing. I don't like it.
I mean, he only sung on one song on here. Thank God.
Yeah, exactly. He tried to stick to his roots, but I just couldn't do it, man. Do you know what I mean? I
Yeah,
don't think he's good at singing, and I think he's afraid of stuff like auto-tune. So, not good, mate.
couldn't agree more. So wrap it up, mate. Enough's enough.
Yeah, I
And
think he needs to.
Skeppy, keep hitting us with the bangers.
Yeah, Skepta needs to put in work for all the stuff that Logic, you know. I
and
think.
free Tim as well. He's as I say, in Burma at the moment, trying to fight for his freedom. He's been deported, but hopefully he'll come back a better man next time.
Exactly. He just needs to tell them he's biracial. Then he'll get white
There we
privilege
go.
and he'll be able to play the race card.
the best of both worlds. All right,
Right, mate.
thanks again,
That's right, man.
and until next time. I've been Tom. You've been Laurence. And you've been the listeners. Bye!